I didn't know what I was getting into. Hey, my name is Ruslan, and if you're watching this video, it means I've either already lost my mind, or I'm no longer here. But let's take it from the top. I've always been into radio. Not pop music, not news, but what people call dead air. Frequencies that no one broadcasts on anymore. Somewhere between the crackle and the hiss. Legend says, the echo of the past is stored. Fragments of military transmissions. Signals from abandoned stations. I decided to start a project called Voices of the Void, and I found this frequency, around 5.5 MHz. At first, I thought it was just a hum, low, drawn out, like a running generator. But then I realized that hum had a rhythm, a pulse, as if someone on the other end of the line was breathing. First signal. I should have turned it off. I tried to convert that sound into an image on my laptop. And you know what I saw? Spirals. Endless lines coiling in on themselves. At that moment, I got goosebumps. But hey, I'm a blogger. I have to look tough, right? So I kept going. And then came the silence. Absolute. No hiss. No background noise, just a vacuum in the speakers. And in that silence they spoke. The voice was mechanical, as if a robot was learning to speak Russian. It said, "Don't turn it off, they will see the light rustling, can you hear us?" I almost dropped my headphones. It couldn't have been a coincidence. It said my name. I told myself, it was just some prank through a repeater. Just haters messing with me. I killed the power. But when I turned around to the monitor, the webcam was already on. I was looking at my own back from a third-person view. And behind me, in the corner, where there was just an empty wall on the recording, a shadow was moving. In reality, it wasn't there. I checked. 3 hours 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The tech started living its own life. I went to the kitchen to get some water. Thought I'd clear my head, calm down. I come back, and the radio had switched itself to a local FM station, 88.8. They usually play pop music there, but this time, fragments of news were coming through. Missing person whose room is empty. I grabbed my phone to call my friend Max. It connected, and that's when things got really messed up. One say, "I'm scared," and 3 seconds later, my own voice echoes back, scared, as if I was talking to myself from the past. I threw the phone on the bed. At that exact moment, the lights went out. The whole apartment. The only things still glowing were the screens, the monitor, the laptop, my smartphone. And on each one, my room was being broadcast, but with a delay. On one screen I was standing by the door. On another I was already sitting at the desk. On a third I was lying on the floor. And all those at the same time slowly turned their heads and stared straight into the lens. Straight at me. I tried to destroy it, but it was too late. I couldn't take it anymore. I started ripping cables out of the sockets, but even without power, the screens kept glowing. So I grabbed a chair and smashed one monitor. At the moment of impact, the speakers exploded with such a scream that my ears are still ringing. I curled up in the corner, covered my head with my hands, closed my eyes. But the sounds didn't go away. From the speakers, my own voice started playing again. A recording I'd made just a couple of hours earlier. Except now, that voice had changed. It became low, alien. It said, "You already turned it off, Ruslan. You're inside now. We are your signal now." When I looked up, in that corner where the shadow had been before, a figure was standing. It flickered like old TV static, but its outline was mine, my copy made of interference. I asked, "Who are you?" And it answered me in that radio voice, "We are what's left of those who listen too long. Your world is just a frequency, and we've overwritten you." It lunged at me. All I remember after that, the sound of a struggle, my own wheezing, and then a blackout. 8 hours 10 minutes and 30 seconds, I woke up. But it's not me anymore. I came to my senses at dawn. Daylight was seeping through the curtains. The camera was lying on the floor. I got up. My body felt strange, jerky, as if every muscle was cramped. I walked to the mirror. My eyes, they were glassy. I tried to smile, but I felt my lips stretching too wide, like a doll's. And then I sat down at the laptop, opened a streaming platform, and hit go live. Because the voice told me I had to broadcast, that we had to broadcast. I picked up the mic and said, "Hey, Internet. Today I'm going to show you how to tune a radio to 5.5 millihertz. It's really interesting there. You're there. All of you are there." My hand reached for the tuning knob on its own, and behind me, on the wall, silhouettes began to appear. Dozens of flickering shadows, and they were all staring at the camera, staring at you. Addressed to the viewer, so if you're watching this right now, please, don't look for that frequency. Don't make my mistake. I know you're curious. I know you want to check if this is real, but that's exactly what they're waiting for. They're looking for new listeners. It's to cramp for them in the airwaves. I'm going to turn off the camera now, but remember, if you ever hear a faint hum from behind your wall at night, or see your phone start recording on its own, then they've already found you. Then it will be too late to turn it off.
Never